Yeah. Better days, I pray for better days. Working hard cause I want extra pay. Talk to them seeds, but you must demonstrate. Cause it's your ways that they gon' imitate. Non-violent. Sometimes I wish I would've went to college. Frown proudly. Cause where I'm from, they hate you when you smiling. Your faith should be your gun. You can't leave home without it. The children being grown, cause all the parents acting childish. You show them your reality, I bet they doubt it. You tell them all about your dreams, that's when they out it. Your own blood, ain't no family no more. They do you badly for show. You try to patch up your soul, Lord knows you on a mission to show him you so submissive. The prayer said in silence, you know the devil can hear him, pay attention. Know the war's within, how much time do you spend? Try to balance your zen, then again, losses is lessons. You tell me you trying to win, we know about saving money. You tell me you trying to spend that blood on it. Sweat, tears, you put that love on it. Your best years was just a dumb moment. You tired of going hungry, can't deal with fake making your life lonely. Your lack of faith that left your soul boning. But you gon' work and you gon' strive, do what it takes to survive. What is truth, what is a lie? You know that war's inside. Some get draped into the fake, they don't know what to decide. Wrong choice, meet your demise, keep that between you and I. You realize, some people you gon' let go, you visualize. The things you need to feed your soul is on the rise. They not gon' wanna let you go, but it's alright. It's cool to bury what's gon' grow. Went from wrong to the right and to the dark to the light. It was a hell of a fight. You give it all your might. Gotta hold on tight and you stay strong and precise. You fight the war that's inside, cause it might change your life. From wrong to the right and to the dark from the light. It was a hell of a fight. You give it all your might. You just hold on tight and you stay strong and precise. You fight the war that's inside, cause it might change your life. I ain't the person that I used to be. So what I do today ain't things that you used to see. Stay the same, no, things change usually. Some folk I may know might get reintroduced to me. Yeah, I ain't the person that I used to be. So what I do today ain't things that you used to see. Stay the same, no, things change usually. Some folk I may know might get reintroduced to me.
Yeah. Don't be stressing on the dumb shit, cause God is gonna make a way. Just keep going and keep your faith, so you can win this race. This race called life, yeah, yeah. This race called life. This race called life, yeah, yeah. Race called life. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm grinding 'cause I know that I'm gon' get it. I just gotta have vision, keep faith and be humble. Have some patience with it. I've been A1 since day one, been always on my job. I never been a fake, never had to steal and rob. Cause I do good business, I'm too good with it. And even though I'm on this road, I'm still daddy to my children. You know I do good with them, and don't like being missing. But I hate when my bills are thicker and my pockets get thinner. But I can't stress up on the dumb shit, cause God is gonna make a way. I keep going and keep my faith in my pace, so I can win this race. Win this race called life. This race called life. I'm just trying to win this race called life. This race called life. This race called life, yeah. Race called life. I'm just trying to win this race called life, yeah, yeah, yeah. I keep on running in this race called life, yeah, yeah.
Yes, we are in here.
I'm just trying to win this race called life. This race called life. Girl, I just gotta win this race called life. This race called life. Just gotta win this race called life.
Hey, shout out 216 Bam on that intro song. Definitely killed that second song. This race called life. That's something that we all trying to do, man. Win this race called life, you know. Uh, Peace to the chat. Shout out Curly Hair Goddess. Shout out Random Info. The first two in the building. We are here. This is a judge review. Silky just dropped down to share the link so all this people could watch. Make sure you share that link right now. Hit that thumbs up on your way in. We're about to get into it. Silky wants to, challenge the judge's decision. I'm going to wait for both of the parties to get up here, and then we'll get into that and speak on that. And while we're waiting on them to pop up here real fast, I'll go to a word from our sponsors and show you some of what we have coming up this week.
In every era, there are contenders. In every generation, there are challengers. But once in a while, a force steps forward that doesn't ask for debate. She demands it. Who will debate Naphtali? One of the fiercest female Hebrews on the scene today. A strategist with scripture in one hand and logic in the other. She's been racking up victories coast to coast, panel to panel, platform to platform, leaving broken arguments and silent opponents in her wake. This isn't hype, this is a track record. She doesn't come to exchange talking points, she comes to conquer territory. Now she steps into the Coliseum of arguments, where ideas collide, egos crack, and only the sharpest minds survive. No prisoners, no safe spaces, no intellectual shortcuts. This isn't pro wrestling, this is mental combat. Worldviews tested under pressure, claims weighed, not shouted, receipts required. So the question isn't if she's ready, the question is, who's ready for her? Who will debate Naphtali? Are you not entertained? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Titans Debate League, presented by the Coliseum of Arguments, where ideas clash, they collide. This isn't a conversation, this isn't a panel, this is intellectual combat. In one corner, the voice of the radical reinterpretation, the challenger of ancient frameworks, the man who says divinity isn't in the clouds, it's in the creator of civilization itself. Suave boss, a man bold enough to declare the black woman is God, not a metaphor, not symbolism, foundation. And in the opposing corner, a defender of revelation, a believer in submission to the one, a man standing firmly on divine law and sacred text. Jesse Valdez, a Muslim, a monotheist, a man who says Allah is God, singular, eternal, unmatched. This is not about insults, this is about worldviews. The black woman versus Allah. Who is God? History, identity, power, spiritual authority. Are you not entertained? And gentlemen, this Saturday, January the 3rd, the arena becomes a battleground. In the left corner, a secular scholar armed with history, logic, and cold hard analysis, the architect of arguments, King J. And in the right corner, the heretic of hidden knowledge, the preacher of the unseen, the challenger of orthodox belief, Dwayne aka Darkness. Two worldviews, two intellectual titans, one question that shakes the foundation of faith itself. Are Christianity and Gnosticism the same thing? This is not a sermon, this is not a lecture, this is intellectual combat. History versus revelation, scholarship versus esoteric truth, canon versus hidden knowledge. Only one side walks out with the narrative. Don't blink, don't miss it, because when ideas collide, only the strongest argument survives. King J versus Dwayne, aka Darkness, this Saturday, January the 3rd.
Make sure you are there. Yeah, we got a packed schedule for the next 30 days, man. We're gonna be finishing this tournament out. We got about 5 or 6 exhibition debates. Um, Make sure you're tuned in and you hit that bell so you get a notification every time we go live because you're not going to want to miss any of these debates. 2026 Titans, this is our year. And shout out to y'all. Titans stand up. Okay, and without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the arena where words are weapons, egos are on the line, and no verdict goes unquestioned. Tonight, the smoke hasn't cleared. The echoes of the last clash are still ringing, and one man is not letting it go. Silky D is back, and he's not here to debate his opponent. He's here to challenge judge number one. Was the decision a clean call, or did confusion creep into the scorecard? Is the judge standing on firm principle, or is Silky D struggling to accept a hard fought loss? Let me bring myself up on the big screen. There I go. There I is. The question hanging in the air. Tension is high, pride bruised, and the court of public opinion is wide open. Because in this space, judges can be questioned, decisions can be challenged, and narratives can be rewritten live and unfiltered. So lean in, lock in, and ask yourself, was justice served or did something get lost in the ruling? This is not a rematch. This is not a recap. This is to challenge the verdict. And welcome back to the Coliseum of Arguments, Titans Debate League. And I am your host, A1, leader of Team Titans. Silky, how you feeling today? Go ahead, tell them, for the people who don't know, let them know who you are, shout your people out, and tell them what's going on with the situation.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the SILKY Kingdom. Y'all already know how we do. There's no other. We we over here bringing it up to the judges. We gonna you know what I'm saying, we got a few allegations and statements that are made. So we gotta see what exactly is solid and what ain't. You know what I'm saying? And it was two judges, and one saying, I'm flawless, and the other one trying to say this. So, yeah, just with the two. So that would kind of be a split. So we got to kind of, come to the resolution on this.
Wait, say that again? I wasn't understanding what you were saying about a split.
I was saying how we only had two judges, right?
Correct.
Right. So one judge was if any is 1-on-1. This was one on each side. So, for one to trump the other is kind of like, how does that work?
That's not how my system works. But I explained it to everyone a few times in the beginning and along the way. In the event of a tie, and I think I explained it before we started the results show actually as well. That in the event of a split decision, we go to the scorecards and we add up the score. Whoever has the most points will be declared the winner. The only way that I do get a third judge is if there's a split, and then there's a split with the numbers, and there's a direct tie there as well. Maybe not like the other leagues that you're used to. They be trying to say that I be copying, but there's some originality over here. So, shout out to me. Go ahead, pat myself on the back one good time. I don't do that too much. But back to you with the rest of why you wanted to challenge the verdict.
We definitely got a few questions because even it was brought to my attention that I had got a 1 for performance.
I remember that.
That was another major uproar in the community right there. That's everybody was like, "Whoa, how did you get CD a 1 in performance?" that's a whole nother can of worms.
And you were saying that you don't cuss in any of your debates, like so.
Right.
That was
So the profanity part. I will tell the people I cussed 2 times, but I didn't cuss at YAYA at all. I actually cussed at it was Neo because I messed up on the word. But outside of that, it wasn't nowhere near directed towards YAYA one bit. As a matter of fact, it had Neo's name on it, so they can't really count that against him. if it got somebody else's name on it. So yeah, if they even want to stand on those two cuss words, so that's all they got. So literally, like I watched it last night. I cussed 2 times, and that was at the same time. I was like 2 cuss words back to back, but it was about me messing up the word. And like I said, I said Neo's name after it because it was towards Neo.
And you're absolutely correct, because what I did afterwards was we were watching it, and I got about halfway through. We were watching it on double time, me and the council. You know, I have a round table that helped me come up with some of the decisions.
There you go. There you go.
You know, we sit down and go over stuff. People that aren't even involved in the tournament. So it's actually really dope. But yeah, we were reviewing it, and I'm like, you know what I can do halfway through? I'm like, you know what? I can copy the transcript, paste it in the chat GPT, and then tell me where every cuss word is in the whole thing. So yeah, you're right. You only did curse 2 times. So, you know, I had some questions for the judge as well with what he meant by saying you were cursing.
And then by that same logic, but by that same logic, now we got to count up how many times did YAYA cuss.
See, yeah, we'll get to all of that. I'm gonna see what he meant.
Yeah, we got the same. Hey, we got to be held to the same standards.
I think he cursed. He actually cursed 22 times or something to that effect.
Oh, you did. Oh, you did look it up. Okay.
Yeah, I had a curse word counter and all of that. So
it was quite abundance, especially in that second round. I believe he was dropping major bombs. Like it was quite a few.
And these weren't intellectual bombs. What kind of bombs were they?
They were all cuss words.
Cuss words. F bombs.
Profanity.
S bombs.
Vulgar language.
I heard a couple got like one goddamn me.
There was a lot. If you play the video, you go to the first and second round is horrible for him. Yeah, he's cussing all through it. Like he said, they was cussing like a pirate, like a sailor.
Now, is that goddamn me? Is that St. Louis lingo?
No, that's what Suave said, I think, the other night, talking about how he was cussing. If you play it, he's dropping a lot. He got majority profanity in his offense than information.
Yeah, I did notice he was cussing. I think I had to step in and speak up one time and say language. So I'm not sure how the judge scored that. If he was, we're about to get into that.
And then by that part right there, if the judge is saying I'm the one being the most, saying so-called profanity, why am I at the bottom of the scorecard? Why am I getting the one and why are we getting equal amount of profanity when he's clearly dropping a whole lot more than me? When he's going above and beyond with profanity, and I'm not even cussing.
Yeah. For him to call you out for cursing, we're gonna have to replay his judgment. What I'm gonna do is get him up here. He's asking for the link right now, and I'm gonna let you voice your grievance. Then I'll go with my questions, and then we'll let him go uninterrupted, of course. You know what I'm saying? I don't want. Last thing I want is you two arguing. So if you can refrain.
No, I'm not gonna argue with him.
Direct all your comments to me when he comes up here, just out of respect for the league and the system.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with him.
Yeah. Hold on one second. He said send it in the text, but you didn't give me the number. Okay, sorry about that. My bad. You can go ahead, Silky. I cut you off. And while we're waiting on that, let's go to another word from our sponsors.
In every debate, there's power, passion, and purpose. Titans Debate League isn't just a podcast. It's a movement, a place where big ideas collide and voices that matter are heard. But to keep this arena alive, we need you in our corner. Your support through Cash App isn't just a donation. It's an investment in truth, in dialogue, and in community. Every dollar helps us bring sharper debates, stronger guests, and bigger opportunities for growth. And here here's the best part. When you give, you're not just supporting us. You're standing tall as part of the Titan family. We see you, we value you, and we appreciate you. So if you've ever felt inspired, challenged, or entertained by what we do, show some love and send your support to $Titans Debate League at Cash App today. Again, that's $Titans Debate League at Cash App today. Together, let's keep this debate alive, keep the fire burning, and keep the Titans rising. Have a blessed day.
Get down or lay down when we're stopping. It's the clash of the Titans. Hear the sounds of the trumpets. Start the rounds in the gun. Get down or lay down when we stopping. It's the clash of the Titans. Hear the sounds of the trumpets. Start the rounds in the gun. Get down or lay down when we stopping. It's the clash of the Titans. It's the clash of the Titans.
Okay. We have Silky D back up here. He dropped off for a second, and we have Judge number one. How you feeling today, Judge number one?
I feel good, brother. How are you? How's my
doing amazing
audio?
today. Audio's amazing today. Crystal clear. The format we're going to go with this today is I'm going to let Silky, me and Silky were already up here chopping it. We started to this live about 20 minutes ago. I'm going to let him voice his grievance. I had some questions too, based upon his grievance. And then we were going to let you go ahead and have the floor uninterrupted. He would direct all his questions to me. The last thing I want is any of the debaters arguing with the officials. So just out of respect for the league and everything, he'll direct his questions to me. And, let's get into it. Complete transparency for everyone in the league, and especially big homie Silk, because he's, I consider Silk a friend. Man. So let's get into it. Silk, it's on you. You're muted.
Okay. So are you saying YAYA showed better decorum and demeanor than me in a debate?
I'm not going to answer any questions about YAYA, brother.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you're in the debate when the investigation was brung up, and we was talking about
and hold on, real quick. Could you ask your questions in a line so that way he doesn't have to actually respond to you, that he can respond and give his thing? I'm sure he's taking notes the same way he was on the debate. And we are actually, I'm going to get him to go over the scorecard and go over each section. So we're going to get to all of that. If you did have questions on that, that's going to get explained. I want that to be broken down. Why? Because that was one of my questions, but we'll get to that.
Right. I'd like to ask him about I believe his words were frequently inappropriate language. I believe is what he said about my rounds.
Okay, I thought he accused you of cussing or something in there. We're going to replay that too. So we'll get to that. Keep going.
Well, inappropriate language.
Ain't nobody else is. I'm taking notes.
Inappropriate language would involve cussing. But so what I really wanted to figure out though is if who was cussing more, and if how are you saying I was cussing when I didn't cuss once, and I really didn't use no vulgar language? Well, explain to me the vulgar language that you said I was using in my debate.
We're gonna get to that. What are your other questions? I'll write them down. Inappropriate language. How were you saying that he was cussing?
You're saying my conduct was worse than YAYA's, or I guess as bad as his. You're saying that part. I don't even know, but you're saying my conduct was bad, and you're also saying my performance was bad too, because you gave me a 1 on the performance. So did you give me a 1 straight down on everything?
He did give you a 1 straight down on everything. Was bad. And my question was, because of the cussing, I wanted to know, I think you got a lower score. I'm going to pull up these scorecards too here shortly. But I wanted to know the conduct score. How did you score the conduct because it seemed like what's the name? What's the name had like 22 cuss words to Silky's too. So I was just curious how that came about. Did you count the cussing against them, or was that part of the conduct? I know some of my judges don't count cussing. Some of them don't count smoking. Some of them do. Go ahead though, Silky, and then we'll get to. I'll
Nah,
ask my
that's a
question.
great point you make right there, A1. How many cuss words to how many? What's the numbers?
It was like 20-2. So go. I
20
watched the
to
whole
2.
tape over, and I did a AI count. But go ahead.
Okay, hold
Get
on.
your
So we
questions
got
though, so I can keep writing them down.
oh, that's good stuff. Oh, so we got 20 to 2, and the scorecard reflects what for that part, for that portion?
I think it was like 1-1. I think it was a tie, or it was 1-2. Maybe he had. I can't remember. I'm about to pull it up here shortly,
Yeah,
but I got a
let's
pen
definitely
with this
do that.
notepad right here. I want to focus on that, and then I'm gonna pull it up.
So that's just a few right there to start with.
I'm muted. What else you got, Silky? That all? That was everything.
I mean, so far, I don't want to bombard y'all with too much, just, you know what I'm saying, so fast.
So fast. You're silly. There wasn't that much. Basically,
Yeah,
the conduct
I'm
and the cussing.
also. Hey,
But
listen,
go ahead.
I'm also not going to go back and forth about a particular thing. So if he has 10 questions, then get those 10 questions out. If question number 3 creates a new question, and I'm not playing that game to every question. That's ridiculous. I have answers for him. I'm here. If he
Yeah,
has
he's
to
not here to
stop,
debate the judgment, but he is here to answer some questions. So get your questions out, so that way we can get some answers. So
Well, that's what I was asking. That's why I just
yeah.
wanted to stop at the hot little 3 right there, because I felt like, you know what I'm saying, like I said, once again, I don't want to bombard you with a bunch of information. So,
Well, if
look,
you, I'm gonna take that to mean that you don't have any other questions, because what I don't want to do is create a dialogue. So in the attempt to keep some type of format and order, we could either do it like this, or
okay, so let me lay out the questions. We had the question is, how did you judge me getting a 1 on the card? And I don't know what you gave him. I don't know if it was a 1. I don't know if you gave him a 1 or a 2
let me
when
pull
he
these scorecards up now.
when he clearly used abundance of profanity more so than me, and even the profanity that I even used wasn't even towards him.
We
But
went over
you
that. Did you have anything else?
and well, his statements was I was frequently using profanity the whole time. Was his exact words.
Okay, those are the same two I got down. Inappropriate language. How are you saying he was cussing? We only really had you cussing twice.
And then he said my
And
performance was
the
lacking.
conduct was my question. So
And the performance, because he gave me a 1 in the performance also, and the whole 1 all the way down on the scorecard. I would kind of like a little bit of, you know what I'm
where
saying,
did I
why.
save your scorecards to?
I mean, he gave me a 1 all the way down, so it shouldn't be that hard.
No, I saved your scorecards in this folder somewhere. I just have to. Oh, here they go. Okay, got it. Boom. There goes 1. And I'm glad that Cash App is still spinning, because I don't want to pull them up just yet. A little suspense for the audience.
how far are you from super chat status?
I actually already hit my hours. The monetization thing is like 5 days behind on what it shows. This morning it showed I need 80 hours. Yesterday I got like 120, but again it's like 5 days behind. So I've already reached it. Any day now, I should be able to get the super chats. Probably tomorrow. If not, a day or two shortly after. I appreciate you asking. I'm on my way. We've been working really hard. We've only been a channel since August 16th. So we just closed out 4 months on the YouTube space, and we've already made a lot of ground, a lot of headway. I'm new to the game, so I'm learning a lot. That's why I don't mind doing things like this, bringing this little judge review, keeping it transparent for everybody who's involved. We're all in this together. We're one big Titan family, so it's not even a big deal. I don't do a lot of other spaces and places do a lot of this stuff behind closed doors. But I say for what, if everything's really on the up and up. And I'm here to serve the people. So let's get into it. This is the scorecard that you had for Silky. Now, which one did you want to? I'll go back and forth. This is Silky. Let me take these comments now. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out Pandemus. Shout out Random Info. Shout out Shay Bay in the building. The whole Barbarian clique. Shout out to the Titans. Shout out to Team Naga. Okay. And we are in here. For conduct, he got a 1 from you. And on, how do I switch screens?
Yeah, let me pull it up too. When you, what do you mean when you say you're going to go back and forth? What does that mean?
I'm sorry, I don't know. You were talking to me.
Oh yeah, okay, that's what I thought you mean.
Oh, I mean back and forth between the scorecard.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay, so he got
I'll
a 2 on. Yaya
I'll
got
talk
a 2.
to you. I'll talk to you in private about Yaya's score if you want it.
Okay.
But I'm not going to justify my scoring of Yaya to Silky. And Yaya doesn't have a problem with his scoring. I don't think that that's appropriate to do. I don't think it's proper.
Well, let's get into it. Now, you muted up. Okay. And you said that you have some timestamps too to show some things as well. But
I got a couple.
Now you have the floor, and I have all his questions down.
Yeah, I had a couple timestamps. The most important timestamp was the one where he did cuss. I mean, he put a lot of effort into explaining that he hasn't cussed in 4 or 5, and he also said 6 debates yesterday. And he actually cussed in that debate, and I didn't criticize him for it. I didn't bring that up. So I wanted to find that timestamp, but you already have it, so it's not important.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have the timestamp, but you already know that he did cuss in that debate.
Yeah, he cursed 2 times in that
Yeah.
debate. Okay. No, you got the floor. He wasn't asking any questions or going back and forth with you. We were letting you do your thing.
Oh, I thought you had a question lined up for me.
No, I didn't have any. I was just letting you cook. I already asked my question. My question was really about the low conduct in light of somebody else cursing. But you,
okay.
But it's on you.
The conduct. Let me clear up what I actually said first.
And we can actually play it. Do you have that timestamp as well?
No, I don't.
I can find
it. For what my judgment or for his
for
debate?
Your judge. Well, yeah, in the original.
No, video. I have it right here in notes, man. I can just read it again. It only takes a second.
Yeah,
I summarized.
Go ahead.
No, what were you about to say?
I don't want to start talking. If you have something on your mind, I want you to get everything that you need to say out before I start responding to you.
Well, you just kind of brushed over the fact that Yaya had 20-something plus cuss words, and I had 2, and you just try to double down on those 2 cuss words that you just presented, that I presented, but me and A1 already went through those 2 cuss words that you're trying to stand on, and those 2 cuss words aren't even towards Yaya.
Yeah,
well,
I'm not.
No.
Hold on for a second. Hold on.
I was going to say I don't think he brushed over anything or doubled down yet because
I didn't brush over anything.
Hasn't even explained anything yet. We're about to get to that part. So
I didn't brush over anything. I didn't take a stand on anything. I don't even care that you cussed. I didn't bring it up, man. And this is why I didn't even want you present because you can't control yourself, man. You're a loose cannon. What I'm extending you a courtesy, and in return, I expect courtesy from you.
Can I speak?
Let's go.
So first off, how do you know me? And how do you know I'm a loose cannon? How would you know that? And second of all, I've been letting y'all talk the whole time. Y'all are literally talking the majority. I'm talking the least. So how are you trying to call me a loose cannon?
A1.
Hold on.
A1.
Yeah, now we got to stop because that's a bunch of fallacies and a few statements that I'm not going to let fly past. Nobody's talking the least. I'll let you get the floor first. Then I was to ask my questions. Then he was supposed to have his time. It seemed you've forgotten the format that I laid out in the beginning of this before we got on here and that we're actually involved in. So what I don't want is you going back and forth. And what I also said, because now you're going back and forth with fallacious statements. So now it's getting real weird. So let's cut it out because I don't want to have to drop you down to get to the bottom of his explanation, which you're making it very hard to do at this point. Let's stop doing that.
Nobody's brushing anything over because nobody's gotten a chance to explain anything. So that was fallacious. Then you just went into another fallacious statement. Let's cut it out. Nobody's talking the least. I set out a format and we're trying to adhere to it. And you talking right now isn't even part of the format, but you continue to try. And then accuse us of not letting you talk. We had a format, bro. Do you have anything else to say before I continue to get back to the format that I started with?
Did he not just ask me to get something out? I could have swore he asked me that. He
Either
said,
way,
brother.
that's not what I wanted. So even if you should have said, hey, we got a format. How about you do that? You can do that too. You can hold to the rules that we're trying to adhere to in the conduct too.
My mic is muted, FYI.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I don't want is players arguing with officials. But let's get into what I don't even know where we were at. The fallacious
I,
statement threw me
I,
off.
I'll jump right in just somewhere, and we'll cover everything eventually. So, in my judgment, I went round by round, and before I announced my decision, I summarized um, whether Silky D did what he had promised to do by taking on that resolution. My words were: the affirmative did not establish that Berber populations predate haplogroup A00, nor did it argue consistently within the scope of the resolution. The affirmative engaged in frequent and extreme inappropriate conduct, language, and on-screen violent imagery. And then I went on to summarize the negative.
Okay, can I ask you some questions about what was the violent imagery too?
On three occasions, he made a gun image toward the camera, and on two occasions, he verbalized gunshots while he was doing it. And he did it in connection with claiming to have killed all the tribes. I killed this, I killed that. And then he made the what I consider explicit violent rhetoric.
Mm, okay, I understand that. Go ahead, continue.
So the first thing to get out of the way is whether I claimed he cussed. I never claimed he cussed. I never said. I knew that he did cuss. He actually cussed on 4 occasions. And just to demonstrate, I know he was struggling with the word autosomal, and he said, "God damn it, I can't fucking say it." And then he repeated, "God damn it," and "fuck" later on in the debate. I took that note down, but I didn't make an issue out of it because there were so many other issues. My decision would have been 15 minutes long, trying to iron out every single thing that he did. So I got to the point where he had already he's bankrupted his position, and I said that's what I'm going to summarize. And I tried to just be general about large blocks of conduct. So he engaged in frequent taunting of the other opponent that were clear ad hominems. And one of the things that a lot of people believe about ad hominems is if you just simply insult someone, that's an ad hominem. And I suppose traditional usage, you could say that, like just general usage. But technically, if you incorporate an insult into your argumentation and you use it to negate the other person's argument, that's an ad hominem, and he
Mm.
did repeatedly through the debate.
So you're saying it's one thing to insult, it's another thing to insult to negate. So that you're
It,
creating the differentiation there.
I, I'll give you an example. Yaya said at one point that you're a clown, and some other insults, and then Yaya made his argument. He never integrated the insult that you're a clown into his argumentation. That doesn't matter to me because that's Yaya's inappropriate conduct, and I counted that against Yaya. When I said that Silky engaged in frequent inappropriate conduct, I'm talking about these comments that arose to being ad hominems.
Mm. Did you have any? I know you said you had some timestamps. I'm not sure on what subject or category, or was that for the breakdown of the?
Oh, just give me a second. I want to. I
Take your
want
time.
to. Hold on.
Walk me through it. I'm walking with you.
Surface, bare bones, inappropriate comments.
I'm sorry. All I heard was surface, bare
That,
bones,
that's that's
inappropriate.
that's me. That's me talking to Chat GPT. That I kept my notes on there. So those just a quick list of where he essentially taunted Yaya about his mental processing. Comments like, "I don't know why you can't comprehend that through your head. I already shot you. Keep that inside your head. Comprehend that in your mind. Ladies and gentlemen, what we have is a clear case of low comprehension. He has no clue about what he's reading. He's clearly outclassed." Now, statements like he's clearly outclassed, that's just, to me, that's just gamemanship. He's talking trash, he's chest thumping. And I don't really think by itself is inappropriate. In fact, I enjoy it. Comments like, you're dead here, or I killed this or I killed that. That that's just gamemanship, and it comes along with the community. It's just color. But when you start using it as argumentation, and he started out a whole round, I think it was round number 2, with ladies and gentlemen, what we have here is a clear case of low comprehension. This is a compound fallacy. This is poison in the well, and it's an ad hominem.
Mm. Where my
And
sound
this
effects?
this is a really common with him. He had, what would I call it? A compound. He would make compound errors with it. His errors would be multi-layered. And I'll give you an example because I'm going to say compound error a lot when I'm talking about him. So yesterday, after I gave my decision, he said he accused me of cussing. Okay, so I didn't. So that's one layer of an error. Then he taunted um, Yaya for not being able to say some technical or like really big words. That's another error because the one time that he actually did cuss was when he was struggling with the word autosomal. And it's like, wow, this is really a pattern with him because I noticed that same thing. Every time he had an error, it'd be a compound error. In this case, he's poisoning the well. He's speaking to the audience. Hey,
Mm.
guys, this dude is dumb. If something's wrong with how he processes information, and that's why I'm winning. That's why I'm going to win because he's dumb. This is the argument that he's making that's embedded in that statement. That's an ad hominem and it's poison in the well. I don't know why he thinks that I should overlook that. And then he has no clue what he's reading. He's clearly outclassed. I don't have a problem with that by itself. He can say that a million times, but when you wrap it into everything else, it becomes a problem. He told Yaya, "You're not comprehending what you're reading. I killed all the tribes," and then that's when he made the gun gesture. He misrepresented the investigation, suggesting that your haplogroup was under investigation. Your haplogroup is Fugazi. It was found guilty, associating negative adjudication with a dispute between two research teams, which happens all the time. And they weren't even disputing whether the haplogroup A00 was at the basal position on the Y chromosome tree. They were disputing the methodology in dating it. And both dates negated Silky's position. One date was 200,000 years, the other date was 300,000 years. Both of them don't work for Silky.
Mm.
I bet you didn't know your little haplogroup got busted for being dirty. This is another poisoning the well. It's not my fault your stuff came back fraudulent. Comments like that happening at multiple times in the round where he's incorporating it. He's getting these comments to do argumentative work for him. And if you just say something like, "Hey man, you're dumb. By the way, here's my argument," that's just an insult and it's inappropriate conduct. But when you say something like, "You can't understand my argument because you're dumb," now your insult is doing argumentation. You've integrated it into your argument, and that's when it becomes a classic textbook ad hominem. So this is um, I characterize that as frequent inappropriate language. He thinks I was suggesting that he was cussing, and I could have said the same thing about YAYA even more because I noticed that YAYA cussed as well. But both of them need. Do you remember when we first agreed to do the judging? I agreed that I would stick around and give some commentary and some advice and talk about some opportunities that I
Mm.
noticed after I listened to it. But we didn't get a chance to do that because I was tied up and I had to bounce right after I gave my decision. A lot of this stuff would have been captured in that conversation, and it just didn't. Things like neither one of them had their material appropriately cited. The technical difficulty that Yaya was experiencing was a problem, and all of these things I took into consideration when I scored them, and when I gave my decision or how I scripted my decision. What's your next question? So I got on-screen violent imagery. The on-screen violent imagery is also is captured by the extreme inappropriate conduct, smoking several joints on screen, extreme inappropriate conduct, and the frequent inappropriate language is captured. And those are my comments, and I'll read it again. The affirmative engaged in frequent and extreme inappropriate conduct, language, and on-screen violent imagery. And I think I just answered all those.
Yeah, you answered all my questions. I don't got no more questions. I only had the one, and you got that. With the way you broke that down, very eloquently, might I add. I'm glad I waited. Shoot, this was better. This is the best episode I've been in. You feel me? Uh, Dang. Okay. Because I really was like, I'm thinking that there is no answer for these
Yeah,
questions.
I
But
mean, look,
whoo, boy, was I
so you
wrong.
see from my perspective, I'm listening to him commit non sequitur every single panel. Nothing that he had followed to his resolution, and his resolution couldn't be drawn. I was being generous to him. I could have been a lot worse, but that wasn't my job. My job was procedural.
And I heard
So
you say panel.
after,
I know you kept calling slides panels earlier.
yeah, my bad. How do you identify the whole thing as a? Well, let me tell you what my
A
language is.
panel is all the people on one show. The presentation, well, all of the slides together create a presentation, and then we call each of the like this right here. This would be considered one slide, like his scorecard.
All right, and then the individual ones I can just refer to as screenshots.
Yeah, like he had 4 screenshots on one slide. Yep.
All right, that makes sense. I'll do it that way then. So each screenshot, I'd say I would estimate about 8 out of 10 of his screenshots were non sequiturs. And it was okay. Well, do I get him for 16 non sequiturs, or do I just aggregate it and say there's a non sequitur? Then there's the ad hominems. Then there's the poisoning the well. Then there's the violent imagery. Then there's the smoking weed. Then there's that he didn't even argue inside of the scope of the resolution. He didn't even try. He didn't even. Then he was misusing the material that he was presenting. Then the material he was presenting contradicted him almost on every single slide. There was a lot for me to juggle, and it's my first time giving a judgment. And I said, you know what? I'm going to just try to capture this in the most non-offensive, dry way that I can. And hopefully, it never occurred to me that no one else would see these problems. And I just think it's insane that he has a problem with that, considering the
Hey,
argument that he brought.
I'm not gonna lie. One thing I said about my tournament as a debater, I love it. I've learned more about the debating from listening to the judges in my tournament than I've learned in my whole time as a debater. Like you guys, like you just said, um, it's it's funny that people aren't seeing these things, but like you guys are bringing stuff that I never even would have thought of. Like, um, so yeah, like, shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all. Like that makes perfect sense to me now. This whole scorecard.
Yeah,
Appreciate you for
let
being
let's have
brave enough to step up here. Well, you said that from the beginning that you don't mind doing that.
yeah
Go.
let's have a look at the
What? Let me let him
at
Can
the
finish.
I,
Let me let him
can
finish.
I say something? Hello?
Go ahead. What did you want?
Dang.
You have
So
a
I
question
can't
or
address
a
none of
comment?
that? Yeah,
I
that
was
was
going to
good
let
to
him finish.
me.
Oh, he's not finished. He's about to keep going.
He got more. I can't break down the person. I can't address.
Well,
So he just
if
said
you
a
do,
whole
if
lot.
you attempt to do that, we may never
He
get to
just.
the end of it. Am I correct?
I thought you want to get to the truth, right?
I
he just.
you will
He
have
just said
the
a
truth
whole lot.
comes when you have your chance to speak. It's not like anybody's stealing the floor from you.
you
I
you
want
do
him
you,
to
do
be
you
able to
see
actually finish.
Well, I'm trying
This
to.
this is the this
him
is
being
like
a
back
loose
chat
cannon? You see how
interruption
resistant
right
he
now.
is to being courteous?
This is like a back chat interruption where you're trying to force somebody to stop and not let them finish their statement.
Well, I'm just asking when I get to go because he kind of went for a while,
Of course, you would get to go when he's breaking
and then
down
both of y'all went
your
together
complete
back to back.
scorecard right now.
Yeah,
So
well, I already told you, man. I'm not interested in having a dialogue with you. We got your questions together, and I'm answering all of them. Okay, I'm not going to go back and forth with you. I'm not changing my decision. Your performance is what it is. History's already recorded it. You
I just had
figure,
a few questions,
listen,
brother.
figure out how to change your performance in the past, and I'll change my decision.
I,
That's
I
not
just
going to happen.
I just got a couple of questions about some statements you made.
See,
just
that's what I
write
said a
them
minute
down,
ago,
and then at the end, I'm gonna let you get them all out, brother.
bro. That's what I was saying.
It
He's
won't
going to
be a
hear
back and
answer
forth
number
though, but yeah,
three and then have another question.
yeah, it won't be a back and
I have
forth,
stuff.
but
Well, he
everything that
said
you
a
want to
big,
know, write them down. We got
he
you. I'm
said a
gonna let
big chunk already, so I'm kind of like trying to keep it. You know what I'm saying? He just
now.
said made a
It's been
point.
like a 3 minute dead space of us just going back and forth about why you can't interrupt him in the middle of him breaking down your thing. That's what just happened right now.
Well, that was after the fact that he already went for a hot little second.
But because he's breaking down your thing, would you let him finish and then you can respond to his complete thing instead of
Go ahead.
All right. So on the scorecard, the first one is performance. Now, when I look at his performance, the first thing that I looked at the scorecard is what do you expect? Very nervous, unclear speech, frequent pauses, lack of eye contact. I didn't really take the lack of, even though he was on camera, he was looking at his screen, and whenever he got a chance, he would look at the camera. I didn't really hold that against him. Definitely didn't have frequent pauses until later on in the debate, and he wasn't very nervous. But then when I look at number two, it's some nervousness, occasional pauses. It's not really clear. But what captures the impression I got from him is at number one, because he's definitely not number three, clear speech. And then I go back to number one, and it says unclear speech. And that captures 100% what I experienced listening to his debate. If you, I don't know how people, I listen to mine on the iPad, and I listened to it a couple times while I was driving. And one of the reasons I end up listening to it so many times is because I was unclear about what he was saying at any given time. And that was particularly when he was reading his evidence. And in between his evidence, he would do a couple of things. He would taunt his opponent. He would do the bravado chest thumping thing, which I don't have a problem. I kind of enjoy that. Um, he would make statements that were absolutely unsupported by the information he just read. And I could always tell when that's what he was doing, even when I wasn't looking at the video, because it would be clear. But when he was reading, it was absolutely unclear what he was saying. And even if you were reading, sometimes I would read along with him when I was watching it, and he would skip over 3 and 4 words at a time. And then
So,
there was
how many times did you watch this debate over?
a, a, a half a dozen or more.
Okay.
Yeah. So the only score for performance that made sense to me was one. Now, organization, absolutely disorganized. The biggest one is the one he thinks is the home run, the investigation from. Now that one needs a little bit of background. A research team, Mendez et al., and I'll just call him Mendez. The opposing research team is Elhaik, Elhaik. So Mendez is the group responsible for identifying slash discovering A00 and placing it initially at the basal position on the Y chromosome root. When they published their work, El Hike, another science team, criticized how they went about dating the A00. And then Mendez responded to that criticism. So that's the background. What he did, he skipped over the original publication. He posted first the El Hike criticism because it had a flashy title: bioformatic investigation, the haplogroup that isn't that thing, the ancient haplogroup that wasn't. I forget the exact title of it. So he started with the criticism by El Hike of Mendez, and then he also included Mendez's response to El Hike, and he treated them like they were one group arguing against A00, and neither of them have any problem with A00 being at the basal position on the Y chromosome. In fact, the very first sentence in that material establishes that A00 is at that basal position. And then the very next sentence says, what we're going to argue about, I'm paraphrasing, what we're going to argue about is the dating. We think that they got the methodology wrong. We think that it's 200,000 years ago, not 300,000 years ago. And they were very, very clear about it. And he didn't notice that. That was the absolute most disorganized presentation of evidence that was possible. And all the rest of his the how his evidence was situated, he would have a Google search result that would state clearly, you're wrong. He because his position is A00 is the youngest. He said that a couple times, and I mentioned that. He had a Google search result that said, no, A00 is the oldest. That occurred twice, but they were in different parts. And it was just the way he had his evidence laid out just wasn't coherent. There was no fluidity to it. There was no clear structure to his argument. He was just reading stuff, and then he would turn to the camera and declare, that's why I'm right. It was almost as if he argued Yaya's position. So I don't know how I would want to give him something less than a one as far as his structure, because the organization is very disorganized, unclear structure, difficult to follow. I end up watching this video multiple times, not because of Yaya, but because his presentation was difficult to follow. It was difficult to listen to him, difficult to understand where he was at, difficult to make sense of the material that he was using because it didn't align with what he was telling me. And I don't know how I could even have given him a two. So I found him very disorganized. I found his structure unclear, and I found him difficult to follow. And that's why I gave him a score of 1 there. On evidence, start at the 1 position. Little to no relevant evidence provided. He quite possibly had 0 evidence for his position. If you go through his slides, and I will if there's time, or even if it's necessary, one by one, I could demonstrate for you how this either argues Yaya's position, it argues something that's completely irrelevant to that conversation. It demonstrates that he doesn't understand that discipline and science, or it's absolutely meaningless. I don't remember one piece of evidence that could be used to establish that the Berbers predate the haplogroup A00. Not a single piece of evidence. So it wasn't just little to no, it was just no relevant evidence provided. And he had enough unsupported claims to last us all to the end of days. So I scored him a 1 on that as well. Obviously, those 2 things, the organization and evidence, those culminate in what his argumentation is going to be. He had weak arguments, poison in the well, non sequiturs. He even committed 2 non sequiturs in the question and answer round. The ad hominem attacks. There was no. It wasn't even that there was no significant logic. He had significant logical flaws, but there was no significant logic that was observable to me. It's absolutely easy to be refuted. I could go right now and point to you, screenshot by screenshot, why this is wrong, why this is wrong. It wouldn't take long at all. We'd almost be done by now with his entire presentation. And he had no rebuttal to Yaya's claims. Yaya made, admittedly, Yaya's argument was bare minimum, or just better than bare minimum. That's not enough against some of these other debaters that I've listened to, but it just happened to be enough against Silky because Silky was helping him. That's why they both had the same evidence. I don't know if anyone else noticed that. They both had the same evidence. They both had Mendez. They both had the same evidence for this was the Oscar Lau and the David Komos about the GP4 PG model that tracked the emergence of the Berber people, the origination of the Berber people in North Africa, the Back to Africa movement that they both talked about. That was a scientist, Oscar Lau and David Komos. They both had that. They both had the Mendez thing and so on. The reason they had that is because Silky was providing material that worked for Yaya's burden in the resolution. The questioning was ineffective. He asked the same question several times. To Yaya's credit, Yaya answered those questions even when it revealed that he didn't know something, and it never went anywhere. I don't know if Silky was relying on me or the audience or the other judge to connect the dots for him, but he would ask, are the Pygmies indigenous to North Africa? That has absolutely nothing to do, yes or no, has nothing to do with the burden that he has. And so he did ask questions, but the answer to those questions, yes or no, didn't help him. I don't know what those questions were meant to do, and that's not my burden to argue for him in my own head. And then, of course, we've already been over the conduct. That's why I scored him 1 on questioning. It's just completely ineffective, and I scored him 1 on conduct. We've already discussed that.
Got you. Yeah, you satisfied your burden with me on the questioning. I appreciate you taking the time to do this today. And as far as I'm concerned, the ruling stands. Titans. Yaya will be advancing to round 2. Salute to YAYA Batu. And if that's all you had, Ill Doctor, and if you want to make some closing statements, and then I'll take any questions that Silky had.
I don't know, man. What do are we going to take my word that I can walk through this presentation screenshot by screenshot, and when
Wait.
I'm done, he'd be left with no presentation?
You want to do that? You want to blow his Silky? Did you ask some questions first, and then
I got questions,
each of that?
and we could definitely set that up. We could definitely set that up, and if he falls, it'll return. But hold on, though.
Brother. Okay, I'm not a debater. I'm not here to debate. I don't want to debate. I don't enjoy it. And I'm answering. I'm cutting it off as soon as I can. Don't ever consider me as a potential debater. I don't want to do it. I don't enjoy it.
Nobody said you was a debater. So I just wanted to say though. So in your own statement, in your own words, you brought up Oscar Lau, right? About the evolution, about the migration, about the Amazigh, right? About the Berbers coming back from Eurasia, right? And that's at 20,000 years. So are the Bantu 20,000 years old? Yes or no?
Don't answer that. This is what we're not about to do.
Hold on.
Actually, Silk, I'm happy that you did that, because this would be the example of why I will be picky and choosy when we do this. And if I tell a person no, they're just gonna have to accept it, because you don't get to put him through a question and answer round. You had 10 minutes, and this is what your scorecard reflected. And now you want to have another question and answer round with the judge, and I'm not going to allow that. That's rude and disrespectful. And at this point, hold on. At this point, you should just be mad enough to say, "Hey, I'll get him on the next one." But you're continuing to do this, and this isn't a good look for you. This isn't what winners do, and this isn't how winners take one on the chin. Pause.
He brought up Oscar Lau, and in that exact source, that's an evolutionary biologist.
It's over. I've already made my statement. So continuing to argue with him won't do anything, and I won't allow you to do it.
Yeah, that's great.
I appreciate you, but I did give you the courtesy of coming here for transparency. He met my bird. Right. I didn't shoot my questions to him ahead of time. That was all on the fly and on the spot. I appreciate you, brother. I don't want you to feel challenged, but just for the integrity of the league, it's really dope.
Okay, so this judge trumps the other judge that said I was flawless.
Okay. I don't know why he's trying to overtalk me when I'm trying to give a shout out to the judge. I don't like muting people. Let me bring you back, and then let me finish my thing. But what we're not about to do is even go over this any further. Not at least on your end, Silky. It's over. I don't want you to continue to be a sore loser any longer than you have. I'm trying to do you a favor. Tighten up, baby. We'll be starting the second tournament 1.2, or maybe I'll call it 2.0 in about 30 days. So better luck next time. Shout out Silky, great showman. Definitely got, brings that flair to the stage. It was a heck of a debate. And Silky, YAYA won this by the skin of his teeth. He only won by 1 point. So it's not like he didn't dominate him in this. So that's why I don't think Silky should even be taking this like this. This guy barely won by 1 point. Ill Doctoring, it's on you. It's just me and you up here. Silky dropped off. I didn't kick him off. He dropped.
All right. I was just testing the water temperature, man. If you want to go through his presentation, or if you think that it would be helpful or enjoyable for your audience, and talk about why each of his screenshots just didn't work, I'm willing to do it.
Okay. How would
if it's not necessary, if I made my point, I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
I think you've made your point, but I think you've made your point. I don't want to hold up too much of your time today, man. This was one of the most amazing episodes Coliseum of Arguments Titans Debate League has had thus far.
You know what? There is something that I do want to do.
Go ahead, do your thing.
Can you pull up the actual debate from that day? I want to illustrate just the absurdity of having to judge something like this and then being accused of being biased. Like I want to show you an example.
I have to laugh at that.
I want to show you an example of the absurdity that that I dealt with
Share screen.
in his argument.
Okay, where do you want to go to? Do you have a timestamp?
You know what? Let me pull it up real quick.
Okay.
I got to even get back to the.
Take your time. Oh wait, this was the result show. You wanted to pull up the debate.
Yeah, the
Okay.
actual debate.
Let me get back to the actual debate. Again, if you are on YouTube and you haven't already, make sure you subscribe at Titans Debate League. Let me blow this up real quick so y'all can get a good zoom in on that. We're at 530 subscribers in 4 months. So, we're doing our thing. I'll be monetized in a few more days. Appreciate y'all. But until that super chat button comes up on the screen, make sure that you donate to that Cash App. You go ahead and run that one time so we can one time for the one time. Yeah, for the low price of $1, you can feed 22 kids in Africa. Look at boy.
In every debate, there's power, passion, and purpose. Titans Debate League isn't just a podcast, it's a movement, a place where big ideas collide and voices that matter are heard. But to keep this arena alive, we need you in our corner. Your support through Cash App isn't just a donation, it's an investment in truth, in dialogue, and in community. Every dollar helps us bring sharper debates, stronger guests, and bigger opportunities for growth. And here's the best part. When you give, you're not just supporting us. You're standing tall as part of the Titan family. We see you, we value you, and we appreciate you. So if you've ever felt inspired, challenged, or entertained by what we do, show some love and send your support to $ Titans Debate League at Cash App today. Again, that's $ Titans Debate League at Cash App today. Together, let's keep this debate alive, keep the fire burning, and keep the Titans rising. Have a blessed day.
Shout out to the DJ on this one. Yeah.
Hear the sounds of the trumpets.
I'll be in here doing a running man to these songs. I don't even know. Back to you, Will Doctor. Back to you.
All right, brother. Can you if you can pull up that the debate and just go to 56 minutes?
Okay, I got you. Where was I at? Let me zoom out on here. What do you see on the screen over there?
At 56 minutes.
No, on the, hold on. I'll just.
I'm not
okay.
even looking
it's
at
still
screen,
showing
brother.
my.
I'm always
Cash
juggling
App.
stuff.
Sorry, it's still showing my Cash App. Let me find this video for y'all. How far ago was it? Yeah, I think we gotta go back in here. And you said how far into the video?
56 minutes.
56. Gotcha. And here we go. 5555. We'll start there. I like that number.
Yeah, that's it. If you look at the second screenshot, throughout the entire debate, SILKY claimed A0 is the oldest and A00 is the youngest. And here's a one piece of material he presented. This is not YAYA's screen. This is SILKY's. It says A00 haplogroup is the oldest Y-DNA haplogroup, not A0. Now, that's directly contradicting himself. But here's the thing that's absurd. He read that. If you listen to the debate, when he got to this point, he read that. And this occurs that same, and then it talks about the discovery. See, what happened, the background story to this is, initially A0 was, and when they identified, when Mendez discovered and identified A00, they placed it in different places on the phylogenetic tree to see how it would make sense. And it only made sense at the basal. So that's where they placed it. And when they placed it there, it became the oldest. That's why every time you see it, it talks about the discovery. Before the discovery, A0 was the oldest. But since the discovery, A00 is the oldest. And that's in 3 different screenshots that he used, and he read all 3 of them. There's another screenshot on here
Rewind time. Yep, we're pulling back up some of the slides with judge number one. And let me just tell you, y'all better be happy this guy isn't a debater and he's just a judge, because I think he would smoke half of y'all without a slideshow. You heard me? Go ahead. It's on you. My bad. My apologies. I got carried away.
I can't find it offhand. In fact, let me see if I kept it in my notes, man.
Extensive notes. That's what I like, man. This is, you know, I
Can you
wasn't
go to
expecting
can
you
you
to
go
be
to
so amazing of a judge, brother.
I, I,
I'm
I
really
apologize
impressed.
for interrupting you, brother.
I know I said I wasn't expecting you to be so amazing of a judge. You know, I'm thoroughly impressed.
I appreciate you
I'm
saying that.
impressed easy. So
There's can you go to 32 minutes and 54 seconds?
32 minutes and 54 seconds. Whoo! Timestamps. I love receipts, man. You know, Virgo loves some receipts. 32 minutes and 52 seconds. Let's get there. Okay, this is 32:36.
Humans, chromosomes, various extents of clades, haplogroup A are most exclusive found in Africa. Okay, then the known branches of A
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay, I'm gonna let it play.
are A, AOO, AO, A1A, and A1B. But after the revision of the country AOO came out, they made AOO the basal lineage. And the basal lineage is the root. Let's keep going to the next one.
Did you hear that?
North
Stop
and West
it.
Africa,
Stop it.
place of origin, Northwest.
Did you hear him?
He said the basal lineage is the root.
No, he says AOO. The proper way to say it is A00. This is another thing too that I wanted to mention. I don't have a problem with someone saying AOO. That's not an issue. That's why I didn't bring it up. But just to distinguish between what Yaya grasps and what Silky doesn't. Yaya even mentioned, listen, sometimes it's called A00 or AO, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna call it AOO. Like I'm paraphrasing him. So Yaya demonstrated several times that he really understood the material that he was saying. He had trouble saying what was that one word? Paleolithic.
Existentialism, something like that.
Yeah, he had trouble saying demonstrably too. Everybody has trouble saying demonstrably.
Mhm.
You when you approach the word, you think of demonstrate, but when you say it properly, it brings to mind monster. And you really, if you're not in a academic setting or around people who use words like that, you're never going to hear how to say it correctly. Part of my advice, if I had a chance to do that commentary, I would have advised both of them to, when you have words in your presentation like that, to practice them out loud, not just in your head, because your mind will say it and you will breeze right by it and you'll understand what it means. But if you don't actually say it physically, when it comes time to say it, you're going to struggle with it. Don't let the presentation be the first time you say demonstrably, or the word that I still have trouble with, epipaleolithic. So
That was it. Yep, Epopaleolithic, not existentialism.
yeah, so what he just said is A00 is the basal lineage. He just said that because he was reading it. His entire position that he assumed is A0 is the basal lineage, not A00. That's the youngest. But he just said AOO is the basal lineage because he wasn't paying attention to what he was reading. If you look to the right of the screen, you see a phylogenetic tree for the A haplogroup. At the very top is A00. This is Silky's slide.
Hmm.
You see the screenshot all the way to the right?
Hmm.
That's the phylogenetic tree, and it shows you right at the top A00.
Yep, I see it right there at the top, right under Y chromosomal atom.
There's another but the absurd one that I wanted to show you is um I can't find it, but it's in the debate when he mentioned LOD. I think it was in the second round, if I'm not mistaken. He mentioned L0D haplogroup. The reason that's absurd is because L00D is a mitochondria haplogroup. And we're talking about Y chromosome groups, which are a paternal lineage. Mitochondria comes through our mother. So when he read that, and I got to the point where I was reading along with him, I had never heard of it. I had never heard of a lot of this stuff. I learned a lot judging this debate. So I looked up L0D, and I was surprised that this is a mitochondrial haplogroup. It's not even a Y chromosome haplogroup. And he was using, this is what he, quote, killed the Corson with, end quote, is the L0D, the mitochondrial haplogroup. That's, brother, that's just absurd for him to have an issue. And that's his argument.
Amazing breakdown, brother. Amazing breakdown. One of the best I've heard thus far. Um, you came to me with great recommendations, and they didn't tell me that you were this dope at what you do. Again, I'm thoroughly impressed, and I appreciate you and your time. Um, and other leagues would only be lucky to have a judge like you around. I'm gonna say that. Even the comments reflect that. Everybody loves what you're doing, how you're doing it. So keep up the amazing work. Welcome to the Titan family, and we appreciate you. Again, give them a round of applause.
I'm a Titan fam now.
Titan fam, brother. Titan,
All right.
you got some merch and everything, man. So yeah, you definitely part of the fam. No,
I'm with it, man.
appreciate you, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, hold on one second. Did you have any closing? Let's get some closing remarks from you, real quick.
I didn't get a chance to greet everybody with peace, love, and respect. And I want to do it. I want to do it in a divine language that's used by angels. Ingloyiba Dorikwanda Oro Oyogamundi Wakamani. I greet everybody with peace, love, and respect. And I invite you all to share friendship with me on a pathway to family.
We appreciate you again, brother. Appreciate your kind words and your words of wisdom, and shedding insight onto that debate and giving us something to go back and study and look at. You made this debate even more historic than these gentlemen thought it was when they left the arena. And for that, we appreciate you. Again, let's give judge number one a round of applause. And with that being said, there you have it, Titan family. The tension was heavy. The emotions were real. And yeah, Silky ran off hot. No victory lap, no closing statements, just raw frustration and unfinished business. I think he was looking for an overturned judgment today when he came in here, and it didn't go that way. So maybe, we'll see what happens, 1.2 or 2.0. I haven't decided what I'm going to call the next tournament yet. We'll be starting in about 30 days. So buckle your seatbelts and get ready for the ride, because we're about to do this all over again with some fresh names and some fresh faces. Round two will be starting next week. Let's be clear about one thing before we shut this down. Silky is still family. Disagreements don't erase respect. Passion doesn't cancel brotherhood. And in this space, emotions run high because people care. Sometimes debates don't end with handshakes. Sometimes they end with fire still burning. But family can argue. We can clash. And family always has a seat when they're ready to come back to the table. So whether Silky cools off tonight or circles back another day, the door is always open to you and everybody else who's, has had a moment of emotion on this channel as well. You know what I'm saying? These doors are open to you as well. This platform isn't about cutting people off. It's about letting truth, tension, and growth play out in real time. We appreciate everyone who tuned in, locked in, and stayed for the moment, not just the highlight. Until next time, stay sharp, stay respectful, and remember, the debate never really ends. You feel me? Shout out to you, Titan family. You guys are the best. We're going to end with a song by Connie Sun called Same Heart. I usually listen to him on Spotify. but you can check him out on. He's on all platforms. You know, anywhere you listen to music, you can find Connie Son. Go ahead and head over to that Facebook and tell him A1 sent you. And here's Connie Son, Same Heart. And you know my outro. Treat your smile like your money and never let them steal it. Have a blessed night.
We was together, down for whatever. How the hell did we just fall apart? You was my brother, know that I love you. I would've gave you my own heart, and I would've never honing it level. Think about letting that thing spark, knowing that we got the same heart. It's crazy we ain't got the same heart, and they the one taking the aim for it, and I'm the one taking the blame for it. They ain't got no shame in the game for it. Till I come back around with that pain for it. You gon' pay for the time you was hating. You gon' pay for the time you was dirty macking. You gon' pay for the time that you hit on women. You pay for the time that you flipped on family. Karma gon' come your way, young nigga. It can be any day, young nigga. The way that you played your hand, I forgive you. But back in that sandbox, can't forget you. Killing my mentor, tell your little brother the issue. How did we go to them pistols? Know I'm official, know that I try to uplift you. Kinda knowing that I miss her. We was together, down for whatever. How the hell did we just fall apart? You was my brother, know that I love you. I would've gave you my own heart, and I would've never honing it level. Think about letting that thing spark, knowing that we got the same heart. It's crazy we ain't got the same heart, and I'm the one taking the blame for it, and they the one taking the aim for it. They ain't got no shame in the game for it. Till I come back around with that pain for it. You gon' pay for the time you was hate. You gon' pay for the time you was dirty macking. You gon' pay for the time that you hit on women. You pay for the time that you flipped on family. One more hate, it really ain't gon' matter. More pale lips, just me, more chatter. Can't hold hands going up no ladder. I fall from up here, then my shit gon' shatter. I'm putting on for my whole family, but we on a different road, family. You told folk that I told family, but I never did fold when the folks had me 100. I never been fake in frontin'. I told younger nigga make him something. You told younger nigga take him something, and he the one that took that from his cousin, and that there got the whole family fussing. Got big sis beefing with her brother. Even through it all, still know that I love you. But every second I think I trust you. I'm dead, I'm smart in the game. You made it hard in the game. I'm loving, I started the lane. I'm hard as they came. Melody target they brain, and they draw like a mark to a flame. How far I done came, you was not part of the blame. You was just part of the strain. You was so grimy that niggas ain't wanna come fuck with me, but that's just part of it. And I'm the one taking the blame for it. They the one taking the aim for it. They ain't got no shame in the game for it. Till I come back around with that pain for it. You gon' pay for the time you was hate. You gon' pay for the time you was dirty macking. You gon' pay for the time that you hit on women. You pay for the time that you flipped on family. We was together, down for whatever. How the hell did we just fall apart? You was my brother, know that I love you. I would've gave you my own heart, and I would've never honing it level. Think about letting that thing spark, knowing that we got the same heart. It's crazy we ain't got the same heart.
Ladies and gentlemen, this Saturday, January the 3rd, the arena becomes a battleground. In the left corner, a secular scholar armed with history, logic, and cold hard analysis, the architect of arguments, King J. And in the right corner, the heretic of hidden knowledge, the preacher of the unseen, the challenger of orthodox belief, Dwayne aka Darkness. Two worldviews, two intellectual titans, one question that shakes the foundation of faith itself. Are Christianity and Gnosticism the same thing? This is not a sermon, this is not a lecture, this is intellectual combat. History versus revelation, scholarship versus esoteric truth, canon versus hidden knowledge. Only one side walks out with the narrative. Don't blink, don't miss it, because when ideas collide, only the strongest argument survives. King J versus Dwayne, aka Darkness, this Saturday, January the 3rd. Amazing news. at Titans Debate League is now looking for interns. We are expanding our team and seeking driven individuals who are ready to make an impact. We're on the hunt for talented people to join our marketing team, and charismatic new hosts, and creative minds who can produce amazing content. If you have a positive attitude and are used to winning, because that's what we do here, then we want to hear from you. Join us and contribute to a culture of excellence and success here at Titans Debate League. Email us today, titansdebateleague@gmail.com. Looking forward to hearing from you.
Where Infinity Gauntlet is a mere toy compared to the intellectual prowess, build and destroy the cipher. Intellectual sword to slice you, or whatever device you recommend.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Titans Debate League, presented by the Coliseum of Arguments, where ideas don't just clash, they collide. This isn't a conversation, this isn't a panel, this is intellectual combat. In one corner, the voice of the radical reinterpretation, the challenger of ancient frameworks, the man who says divinity isn't in the clouds, it's in the creator of civilization itself. Suave boss, a man bold enough to declare the black woman is God, not a metaphor, not symbolism, foundation. And in the opposing corner, a defender of revelation, a believer in submission to the one, a man standing firmly on divine law and sacred text. Jesse Valdez, a Muslim, a monotheist, a man who says Allah is God, singular, eternal, unmatched. This is not about insults, this is about worldviews. The black woman versus Allah. Who is God? History, identity, power, spiritual authority. Are you not entertained? Every era there are contenders. In every generation there are challengers. But once in a while, a force steps forward that doesn't ask for debate. She demands it. Who will debate Naphtali? One of the fiercest female Hebrews on the scene today. A strategist with scripture in one hand and logic in the other. She's been racking up victories coast to coast, panel to panel, platform to platform, leaving broken arguments and silent opponents in her wake. This isn't hype, this is a track record. She doesn't come to exchange talking points, she comes to conquer territory. Now she steps into the Coliseum of Arguments, where ideas collide, egos crack, and only the sharpest minds survive. No prisoners, no safe spaces, no intellectual shortcuts. This isn't pro wrestling, this is mental combat. Worldviews tested under pressure, claims weighed, not shouted, receipts required. So the question isn't if she's ready, the question is, who's ready for her? Who will debate Naphtali? Are you not entertained? In every debate, there's power, passion, and purpose. Titans Debate League isn't just a podcast. It's a movement, a place where big ideas collide and voices that matter are heard. But to keep this arena alive, we need you in our corner. Your support through Cash App isn't just a donation. It's an investment in truth, in dialogue, and in community. Every dollar helps us bring sharper debates, stronger guests, and bigger opportunities for growth. And here's the best part. When you give, you're not just supporting us. You're standing tall as part of the Titan family. We see you, we value you, and we appreciate you. So if you've ever felt inspired, challenged, or entertained by what we do, show some love and send your support to $ Titans Debate League at Cash App today. Again, that's $ Titans Debate League at Cash App today. Together, let's keep this debate alive, keep the fire burning, and keep the Titans rising. Have a blessed day.
Get down or lay down when we're stopping. It's the clash of the Titans. Hear the sounds of the trumpets. Start the rounds in the gunnet. Get down or lay down when we stomping. It's the clash of the Titans. Hear the sounds of the trumpets. Start the rounds in the gunnet. Get down or lay down when we stomping. It's the clash of the Titans. It's the clash of the Titans. tigers.